What if you've been destroying the best plants in your garden? Most gardeners spend years fighting these plants, spraying them, pulling them, cursing them out every single summer. But here's a question worth sitting with. What if some of those so-called weeds are actually helping your garden more than the expensive plants you brought home from the nursery? What if that wild little plant pushing up between your stepping stones is feeding pollinators, improving your soil, protecting your vegetables, and in some cases is even more nutritious than the food sitting in your kitchen right now? Some gardeners are starting to wake up to a shocking truth. Nature may already know exactly what your garden needs, and by the end of this video, you may never look at a weed the same way again. And trust me, the plant at number 1 is so valuable that some gardeners now intentionally let it take over entire sections of their yard. Welcome to Garden IQ. If you love tips that actually make life easier, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below telling me where in the world you're gardening from. Number 1. Dandelion, the weed most gardeners wage war against. You know this one. Bright yellow flowers, impossible roots, and a tendency to reappear no matter how many times you pull it out. The dandelion might be the most hated plant in suburban gardens, and honestly, it's completely misunderstood. Here's what most people don't realize. That deep taproot isn't just annoying, it's actually drilling down through compacted soil and pulling minerals closer to the surface where your other plants can use them. And those early spring flowers, when almost nothing else is blooming, dandelions are feeding the first hungry bees of the season. Your grandparents likely never considered dandelions a problem. Many families welcomed them because they appeared before almost any other edible plant woke up in spring. The leaves are nutritious, the flowers are edible, the roots have been used in herbal traditions for centuries. Here's the part that might genuinely surprise you. Some gardeners now buy dandelion seeds intentionally. Have you ever eaten a dandelion? Drop a comment. I'd love to know if you've ever tried them raw or cooked. But the next plant might surprise even experienced gardeners because it could be quietly fixing your soil right now and you'd never even know it. Number 2. Clover, the lawn weed that feeds the soil for free. Here's something that should make every gardener stop and think. Older lawn mixes, the ones used before mass-market lawn care, actually included clover on purpose. It wasn't a weed, it was a feature. Clover is what's called a nitrogen fixer. Tiny bacteria in its roots pull nitrogen directly out of the air and deposit it into the soil. That's the same nutrient you pay for every time you buy a bag of lawn fertilizer, and clover is doing it for free every single day it grows. It also stays greener in drought conditions than regular turf grass, requires less watering, and is beloved by bees. The only reason it became classified as a weed is because post-war herbicides killed it alongside actual weeds, and rather than admit the mistake, companies just rebranded it as something you needed to eliminate. Nature was already repairing your exhausted soil without charging you a penny. We just stopped letting it. Allow clover around fruit trees and in low traffic areas. It thrives with minimal effort and gives back far more than it takes. And if you think clover is impressive, wait until you meet the plant some people call wild spinach, growing right in your garden beds whether you invited it or not. Number 3. Lamb's quarters, the weed more nutritious than spinach. Lamb's quarters is one of those plants that grows so fast and so confidently that most gardeners assume it must be terrible. It towers over vegetables, it drops thousands of seeds, it returns every single year. But here's the thing, it's completely edible. Young leaves can be eaten raw or cooked just like spinach, and studies have shown it rivals or exceeds spinach in several key nutrients. It's been part of traditional cooking across multiple cultures for generations, used in difficult times when other food was scarce. It also shades bare soil naturally, which helps retain moisture and reduce weed pressure. And it thrives in poor, disturbed soil, meaning it often pops up exactly where your garden most needs some help. Throughout history, when food was scarce, families turned to plants like this. We've simply forgotten how capable they are. Have you ever accidentally pulled out a plant you later discovered was totally edible? Tell me in the comments. I think you'll be surprised how many people have. But the next one grows low to the ground, barely reaches your ankles, and is quietly doing something extraordinary in dry, harsh conditions. 4. Purslane, the succulent weed hiding in plain sight. Purslane spreads low and fast through cracks in paths, bare soil, and the edges of garden beds. It looks almost like a stubborn ground cover, thick, fleshy stems, glossy leaves, appearing where nothing else seems to want to grow. And that's exactly where its power lies. Purslane is incredibly drought-tolerant. It handles heat that would wither expensive ornamentals. And while it's spreading across bare soil, it's actually acting like a living mulch, shading the ground beneath it, slowing moisture loss, and protecting the soil structure underneath. It's also edible and unusually rich in omega-3 fatty acids for a land plant. Some cultures have used it in salads and cooked dishes for centuries. Some gardeners spend hundreds of dollars trying to create drought-resistant landscapes. Purslane prunes it naturally, for free, and tries to move in without being asked. Allow purslane in dry corners and hard-to-water areas. Pull before flowering if you need to control spread. Just avoid letting it compete with slow-growing seedlings. And the next plant might completely change how you think about those tall wildflowers growing along roadsides and hedgerows. 5. Queen Anne's lace, the wildflower pollinators can't resist. Queen Anne's lace has a habit of appearing in exactly the wrong places, the back of the border, the edge of the vegetable patch, anywhere slightly uncultivated. Most gardeners pull it out before it does anything. That's a shame. Those flat white flower heads are basically landing platforms for beneficial insects. Wasps, beetles, hoverflies, and butterflies all flock to them, and many of those insects are the natural predators of garden pests. Letting Queen Anne's lace grow at your garden's edge is like setting up a free pest management system. It also creates that wild, romantic aesthetic that takes real effort to manufacture in a designed cottage garden. This plant offers it naturally. This is the kind of plant that makes a garden feel genuinely alive rather than controlled and manufactured. Ideal for cottage gardens, hot and dry slopes, and wild edges. Deadhead the flowers if self-seeding becomes excessive. In the right spot, it asks for nothing and gives back enormously. But the next weed might be the most surprising yet, because it grows in the most beaten-down spots in your entire garden, and it's actually trying to tell you something. 6. Plantain weed, the humble, low-growing, ribbed leaf that appears in pathways, compacted lawns, and neglected corners. Plantain weed, Plantigo major, or Plantigo lanceolata, is one of the most overlooked plants in any garden. It appears in compacted, damaged, or disturbed soil for a reason. Its roots help break up hard ground and begin the slow process of soil recovery. In that way, it's less a weed and more a repair crew. It shows up where the soil needs help and begins to fix it. It's also historically valued in herbal traditions across Europe and Asia, and its presence is considered by some gardeners as a reliable indicator of where soil needs improvement, a free soil test essentially. Sometimes weeds aren't enemies, sometimes they're messages from the soil beneath your feet. Leave plantain on rough ground and pathways. If it appears in a previously healthy bed, consider it a signal to check drainage and compaction. It's doing a job. Let it finish. And speaking of plants with a surprising reputation, the next one is actually sold in garden centers as an ornamental, but the wild version is pulling itself up through your soil for free right now. 7. Yarrow, the weed that became a luxury garden plant. Here's one of gardening's best ironies. Walk into a garden center and you might spend $15 on a potted yarrow. Walk through an unmaintained field and you'll see the wild version growing freely, just waiting to be appreciated. Yarrow is drought-tolerant, deeply attractive to pollinators, and blooms for weeks on end. The feathery foliage is beautiful even when it isn't flowering. It spreads via underground runners, which is exactly why gardeners who don't know it rip it out. But in the right spot, that spreading habit creates a dense weed-suppressing mat that does half your gardening for you. Wild yarrow might not have the polished look of its cultivated cousins, but it's genetically the same plant, just honest about what it is. The funny thing is, some people pay $15 for the nursery version while pulling the identical wild plant out by the roots. Perfect for cottage gardens, hot and dry slopes, and wild edges. Deadhead the flowers if self-seeding becomes excessive. In the right spot, it asks for nothing and gives back enormously. And now we've reached the final plant, the quiet one most gardeners have barely noticed. But once you understand what it's doing underneath your garden beds, you may start seeing it completely differently.
8. Chickweed, the gentle weed that protects your soil. Chickweed grows in the cold months, emerging in autumn, spreading softly through winter, and disappearing again as summer heat arrives. It creates a low, delicate green carpet under taller plants, and most gardeners see it as an eyesore. But what it's doing is important. Bare soil loses moisture, erodes in rain, and breaks down its structure over winter. Chickweed covers that exposed ground, holds moisture in, moderates soil temperature, and protects the microbial life underneath. When it dies back naturally in spring, it decomposes into the very soil it was protecting. It's also edible, mild, slightly grassy, and perfectly fine raw or lightly cooked. Chickens, birds, and small garden wildlife love it. It pulls out easily if you need to clear a bed in spring, and it asks for absolutely nothing in return. Sometimes the plants we call weeds are simply nature's way of taking care of the soil we've left uncovered. And here's the strangest part of all. Many of these plants appeared long before humans ever started gardening. They are, in some ways, older and more experienced at this than we are. Maybe they know something we keep forgetting. Maybe the biggest gardening mistake isn't having weeds. Maybe it's assuming every wild plant is a problem, because sometimes nature sends in plants to heal damaged soil, protect bare ground, feed pollinators, or quietly restore a balance we stopped paying attention to years ago. And while some weeds absolutely do need controlling, others may deserve a second look before they get ripped out forever. So the next time you walk through your garden and spot something growing where you didn't plant it, stop for just a moment. Maybe it's a weed. Or maybe, just maybe, nature is trying to help. Which one of these 8 plants surprised you the most? And are there any weeds you secretly allow to grow in your own garden? I'd also love to know, after watching this, is there a weed you're now going to leave in place rather than pull? Tell me in the comments below. Sometimes the most valuable plants in your garden are the ones you never meant to plant at all.